how a gang war works. So, young Gabire is telling you how shit went down in junior high. So, this is my progress from me becoming a mainstream rapper. Starts in middle school because the whole thing about gang evaluation all begins in middle school. The whole point of a gang war is in order to take over land and territory. What in my case, I took over women. Gang war was surrounded around women, and why, we need to fight harder for women, because I was an example of my generation. So aside from, me looking good and me wondering why I'm not getting it, is the OG's holding me back. An OG is telling me to have discipline when the other person is not. There is an entire, saga that came for this. This is Lightweight and Android saga. I'm gonna, really go into the Turn Machine documentary. Hopefully, tears like KRS-One, Lee Cassidy, give their opinion of how people use the Storm Machine instead of actual games. This is what they spammed in junior high. So if you didn't know, I was scheduled to be an entertainer ever since I was younger, because they already saw me going to the store with my grandma and my uncle, who's funny as shit. Uncle would be yelling at my grandma, and they saw me, a good looking little kid just walking attached to them, getting out things in Target. And so we like how this little kid looks, and we're gonna try and make him famous. And then they try and make me famous ever since I was young. They were making cartoons to cover cartoons in order for me to observe to be famous. These cartoons taught me how to fight. These cartoons taught me how to do this and that. And eventually, translated to me using this cartoon in a video game. You see, it set me up for a gang war, because it's required for you to go to one in order, or some of that extreme, in order to become a voice actor or a mainstream rapper. So the reason why I want to state this is for anime fans, real life people to understand really what happened in gang member school. So it started off with Miss Faye. Miss Faye held me back from a girl named Andrea. Andrea was a black girl who came at the ending of the school year. Now notice the timing. This is how our gang war works. Just beat Geo, didn't mean shit. I just pulled, Maria for Valentine's Day. Maria was a girl with some fat ass titties. And they were still able to say, Matt, not Matt Bitchy, but Matt from Boy Scouts said that Maria was hella ugly. And she was slightly chubby, and she did wear glasses, but she had some big ass teeth, and that's how hard the regular class is. It's really, really hard. They distort your perspective. You're already a special ed, they hit you with the perspective that you don't have a girlfriend on campus and shit. So when you finally have a Valentine, they blame her for being fat, ignore her big ass teeth, and make you focus on the fact that she has glasses. Because they compare you to their girlfriend who's skinny, whose face is like a crocodile, but has butt and jeans. And the really hot girl doesn't know what she's doing. She's just there. You guys are cracking jokes 9 times out of 10. Take advantage of somebody in special ed. That's what people do to outdo looks. So what if I told you that that wasn't enough, that you have to use a Storm Machine, because humans are more compared to monkeys than you think. Because of the way I look, they would be drawn to me naturally no matter what you say. So what was happening in real life was they were actually asking them, yo, tell Eris Lily I like him. I'm too nervous. He might get another one if I go out with him and shit like that. I don't give a fuck about girl imitations or child. You know why? Because you guys act like bitches every fucking day and act like one whenever I bring facts to your table. So I'm all like, yo, I beat everybody like that. They fit a purpose, but it makes sense. Andrea's black and I'm black, and Andrea's really pretty. So Lily freaking, so Miss Faye's like, no. She kept on yelling my name, trying to get my attention, trying to give me a hugger. Miss Faye held me back for her. I'm like, why? And the older me is like, cause you can get shot. So they were reserved, and what was really, really pissing the OGs off during my gang war was my opponents weren't showing any effort. They were cheating using their Storm Machine, even when they weren't using their Storm Machine, the shit they were doing defies the whole reason why they joined the gang, or they make their own after they got called out by OG. It started off with me, the way I dressed, the way I did things. Lily, how I came with a mohawk. Lily, he wore sleeves to fucking school. You telling me that you tried talking all this shit when this nigga wore sleeves to school? You don't know what sleeves do for girls one time. So what they did was they put me in this thing called a Deus Ex Machina. A Deus Ex Machina is their illusion where a whole bunch of people surround your imagery. That's when the popular kids do an after image parade. What they do was really, they put people in position like chess pieces, like say it's a blonde girl, and say you're doing something, say you're asking a girl out. The girl could be rubbing your shoulders. So what they do is they give one girl a restriction. They give one girl a reason not to go out with you, and they replicate the energy around the entire school. Because what they do is, they make sure they put you at a social disadvantage, and then they surround you with facts, and then they play off the fact by moving their feet. What they do is they give you an illusion that you're not getting a girl. Like that happened with me, Isaiah, and Brianna in high school. Like Isaiah, clearly I had the better punch sign and better wardrobe, but Isaiah had the better style, so she needed him in order for me to fit in society. I'm sorry, but that's how it works. So what gangsters do is they do a form of Morse code. They do it back. They're like, okay, so you're not gonna give him a validation. That means he's gonna go straight Damn, you try to confuse them in the gang work. It's how it's supposed to be, how it was in the older generation. Is we take you on events together, we see how your accuracy, what your favorite thing is, and we play off that. Instead of treating you like you're a fucking retard, and all of a sudden we become a threat. We blame your fucking autism, we blame what you have on fucking paper and say you're not fucking worth for work. If you actually do your research, autistic people have superhuman strength. Pretend to be a boxer when they were just a punk. Like, yo, I don't care if they're super strong, girls. Life is technical. You can't keep springing this, and that. Well, I'm faster than when one hit's gonna clobber them. Gets over here stuck like a prick and I'm elusive. Don't understand. A Deus Ex Machina is when the popular guy is getting rejected for something, where he puts you in a bad position and he controls the situation. So what he has to do is he has to sweet talk the girl like, yo, I'll help him do this, and that. But he does the exact opposite at school and he gives him some equivalent. He'll give you some credit, but he'll treat you like shit 9 times out of 10, and then you have you hang around with the popular kid, you know. So what would happen is James would talk shit to me, they would have me hang around Ben. There was this one time when me and Essie just came back from Waterworld, and all of a sudden Catherine is all on James. Catherine was a short, fat messenger girl at the time, and she was really, really cute. She was just as cute as Karen, just a little bit more short and stubby. She was yelling his name over and over again, but she was making sure I was looking the entire time. Me and James are the exact same height, so that's what happens when you trap somebody in Deus Ex Machina. The only thing that saves James is his reputation. What's really happening is they're not giving you a chance, they're giving you fucking bullshit excuses, so they hit you with mirages, and you know, like, what they're doing is they're treating this like a continuous storyline, so they're trapping you in a soap opera. No anything, because what they do is really what the OGs do is they play off their Deus Ex Machina and they trap you in there. So what happens is they knock you out, think you said what you said, but really fucking they took you to another location and you made out with the fucking girl and she rejected you in school. But see, really what they do is they knock you out, but unlike Mr. Pleasure, instead of knocking you out for a good reason, they knock you out for the wrong reason. They make sure that they talk shit back to the kids. You know what kids did? With my age, they took advantage of those adults had to fucking bang, and those adults were gamers. So they thinking that they're fucking bad. So what Justin did, what Justin Weiser did when I was in high school, is he knew that adults were gonna knock me out and not give me credit. But because they're making their equivalent, they gotta take advantage of that, and really they gotta tell the story to somebody else, even though they know that this gonna make my side stronger. So what the OG does is he hits a pinpoint before, middle, and end. So you'll be strong by the middle, and at the end you already know what to do. Fuck the inner details. In my generation, abuse the inner details, but how you gotta go against a strong base. Like literally, this guy was really physically strong. I know he's gonna be physically and mentally stronger than the middle, so what more do I need to know? What if I told you that they did that and they tried to override society? They couldn't get you, so they override everybody else on paper. Is what happened. What gave me this idea is I was stuck to an underground concept called the Animation Rap League, or URL, or battle rap in general, where you can't get away with anything corny or anything loose, and that's really, really bad. Because if you want to be an entertainer, you have to understand what makes mainstream rap better than underground rap is that they're willing to be more loose, and they're willing to be, you know, creative and low cool, like Sugar Flow Rider. That's really, really good hip hop. Underground hip-hop will stop you from reaching certain sounds, you know, and certain high notes that are required to actually be a top-tier rapper or singer. And what they do is they restrict you and shit, and they call it corny, this, and that. Then we have no reason to have R&B, we have no reason to have rock, we have no reason to have a multi-dimensional society. And that's what they do. They make you forget about society and they compare it to race. This is how a gang war works. So you know how Andrea was there at the end of the year. What was happening is Matt was hanging out with Ashley. Go back to Allie versus Matt video. So Matt was hanging out with Ashley, and Ashley was, you know, had her arm held by Catherine. And when I was older, I recognized that they're threatening her not to go out with him in order to prove their point against me. So what ended up happening is the same shit, you know, like literally I was imagining, you know, fucking getting a girl and I get it like, yo, he's probably gonna get the number, this and that, and he's like, well, I'll probably get the number last night, we just got done fucking harassing her at her door and shit. Literally, it's because he has tons of friends and tons of people to support his bullshit. He gave me some time to think. How he pulled that Deus Ex Machina off was literally, I got rejected by Ashley at lunchtime because he pulled the fire string, and literally fucking Matt was singing every single lunch for Ashley, and Ashley was with Catherine. But when I got older, I recognized that Catherine's arm was around Ashley, protecting her, and I thought that he was going out with her for real, but I recognized that he was only going out with her by force. So Andrea was there, so you know what they did, you know what they told, you know, Mr. Pleasure is like literally freaking, that means she's gonna go straight. When you're trying to confuse her with others and match, oh, you work hard, this, and that, when you let him know what's gonna be first thing, he's not gonna be negotiable when you hit with a crawl. Because all these girls and shit like that is to compare you to people who are 30-year-old virgins and shit. Like, you're getting the truth. That's why they set me up for rap. That's why they set me up to be a celebrity, because these aren't normal girls. These are above average girls. And what made the arrow so inferior to my junior high, you know, wasn't the fact that they were girls. They were really, you know, superior rappers, because they listened to the same rappers do junior high, but they weren't going outside. They weren't trying to compete. And that was back when I was competing to fit in. That's when I was trying to get all the girls. That's when I was getting the dance battles. That's when I was trying to be the funniest. That's when everybody focused on their wardrobe was right then and there. And the air rail doesn't believe in that shit. The air rail believes in like hiding behind the computer screen forever. Never really become a man, but claim I'm a man, but keep on doing something in my comfort zone. I was separated from my junior high for a while, and what ended up happening was my junior high officially split my freshman year when I pulled Kara Sawanaka, the sexiest girl of my junior high with double G, Salvadorian beauty. I became one of the best dancers in my high school that wasn't connected to my junior high, and she went to the high school that feeds into my junior high. And she went to Washington, I went to American, and it was official. They kicked her out the very first 2 months. She got sexually harassed by James and everybody. They all got drunk, they didn't know what they were doing, and all that character development was really just a facade. So here's how it works. They have a couple of times to prove your statement wrong when you're young, and they have a couple of times when you're out of high school. So the gang war can freaking stretch, because really, where it's about to show you is where you're at. So what they did was just schedule them like, okay, this guy, they saw him in junior high, this guy has the will of Ludacris and T.I. and Busta Rhymes back in the day, back when mainstream rap still existed. Are you kidding? He's looking like Fabulous and Lupe. They set me up like, we want you to be mainstream. If they're not gonna give you a challenge, we're gonna take your mainstream shit. So they made sure I never got any validation, make sure I stay in my lyrics, make sure, like, you know, they didn't get cocky. So, you know, what stops validation from being concrete is the gang. The gang's whole point is if you have suspected this and that, then you know how it's danced for a whole bunch of girls that danced for, but Justin ended up with a girlfriend, and he was saw with a girl every day. But I had, you know, fucking, you know, cameos of greatness, and literally I was dancing with girls here and there, and I got validation from girls here and there, because what Justin has is concrete, and what my shit is like a little bit more realistic. My shit is flaky because, you know, people are dealing with responsibilities. He's focused 100% on being in. So a gang member's job is to stop him from hanging out with the girls, so the validation will be concrete. You can keep everything in your head, but a gangster, so if you know that you danced with a whole bunch of girls that night, and you come home and you don't have a girlfriend, and you're wondering why all that ass was on you, but you don't have a girlfriend, a gang member's job is to try to call that a Looney Tune. Like, you don't have fucking game and stuff like that, this and that. They go add logic on top of it. Like, you don't know what you're doing, you just look good. He'll try to break shit down like that. So here's what happened. What a girl does is, when you really want a gang war, what you have to do is, the OG has to establish to you that you're not going to get these girls without getting hurt. You're going to have to fight for these girls. This is the reason why they're keeping them away from you, because they're using the highest gang member strategy. Whenever I told you that one meeting with Maddie, Mo, and Chris, where they told you how to do the after image, if you do it, you lost your practice, where you do it for a last result. In junior high, they did it first thing over and over again. Plus to use the serve machine. So what happened before I got into high school is Jessi was trying to talk shit to me because I pulled Jessi's number. Jessi was one of the finest girls in junior high, and I pulled Allie's number, so I was gonna come up. So, you know, and I was going to summer school, and I was turf dancing with the 80s in summer school when I was about to go to American. So what ended up happening was Justin Lazili's flex on me in his backyard, saying that my mom is very Kool-Aid era, this and that, playing games like Skate 2, playing, you know, online video games, like really listening to Daryl Rose Carter and Hollywood Undead. It really was a fucked up, you know, thing he was doing, drinking those carbonated monster drinks in front of me. So it turned out that he even ended up making somebody through a serve machine, which you can't make people through a serve machine, literally, but they're made to prove your point. But what he forgot was he still made an organic being. So Brittany came fucking to me, even though he made her a serve machine. And I told him, that's my android, Justin, not you. Nigga thought he was cool flexing Hollywood Undead, and now he get to say, Brittany. It was a cold, long journey with quality with me and hip hop. Shit was all training for me to be a mainstream rapper. The Gabaya, smoking weed and watching Japanese cartoons and their ability to fuck you up. Now people always blame me for watching cartoons, yet I still end up being the only one gay woman. Yeah, that was all scheduled. So how a gang war works is the OGs were preparing me for mainstream hip hop. We all remember Julie. So my junior year in high school, Julie was there at the beginning, and she disappeared for an entire year, and she wasn't there until my senior year. That's how a gang war works. They keep them away from you because you're not mature. They want to make sure you're disciplined. That's why I told you, when you learn how to make a beat, make sure you're in control. Make sure that you're in a responsible mindset, that you're not destroying parties for no reason. Kimmy got kicked out of school sophomore year, and I thought she was still there senior year. Her sophomore year, not mine. So I didn't hang with Jessi and them until I became an adult, and that's the whole purpose of the gang war. So it sucks because Jessi's extremely fucking hot, and so is Kimmy, and so is every girl from my junior high. So if you want to compare the ARL to those girls, the ARL is underground, and it really sucks. This one fucking still frame of me hanging out with my girls destroys the entire ARL. But just think about it. Real rappers have music videos, and my girls from junior high are the actual girl of those videos. Can't fight ARL mainstream because it's underground, point blank. Because the ARL will criticize some of the shit I do in junior high, like me pretending to chew gum, people making sound effects on the word. When you grow up, that's really popular and shit. When they grow up, they add lots into that and call that retarded. Junior high reveals my special edits connected to the music industry. This is why the ARL couldn't keep up for being judgmental. Conclusion, this is how our gang war works. Fuck the ARL, the shit that I was going through in junior high is my influence goodbye anyway.